All right, pretty chords. What was I playing? I was playing a 13th and a 13th with the flatted ninth primarily, and I was playing a C. The whole purpose of this is to talk about learning to spell out your chords. One of the things about guitar is that it's extremely very easy to get stuck into box playing. So one of the problems with guitars, which is also one of the good things about it, is early on you could buy a guitar chord book or scale book, and they teach you positions without you really understanding what you're doing. So you're going up a pentatonic scale without really knowing the notes, memorizing a chord without really learning, what exactly are the notes on the fretboard and why is it called that, but you're just learning shapes basically. That helps us because it gets up and running really quickly. It actually holds us back when we've been playing a while. I know guitar players have been playing for years and years, and they just stick to a pentatonic scale and you're tried and true, power chords and stuff, and that's fine. And I'm not trying to say complicated means it's better, because a lot of classic rock songs, a lot of classic music were written off of pentatonics and off of simple chords. But in any event, though, let's look at what I would recommend, which is learning to spell your chords. By that, I mean that the most important thing is to learn the notes of the scale itself and the major. And try to do it in 2 octaves, because if you look at chord theory, nothing goes really past the 13th. I don't know if there's a thing called a C15 or C16. So if you learn your scales at least in a minimum of 2 octaves and assign the number to them, which is what they're doing, then you'll be fine. You can figure out any chord when somebody tells you. So a couple of tricks. So let's use the C major. So by that I mean, so you got C, which is the 1, okay? Then the D, 2, then the E, 3, the F, 4, the G, 5, the A, 6, B, 7th, and 8th right here. But this is a C. Now, and then the scale repeats itself. So instead of going back to 1, this now becomes 9, because this was 8th, so 9th. What was that? The D. We played that already, right here. That was the same as the second. So the 9th is the same as the second. So the D and the D are 9. So when you see a chord that says like C 9th, that means you're going to add a D to it. Okay? So that's an extension. So it's 9. So remember, we're at 9th. Then you've got 10th, E. Then you've got the 4th, F. I'm sorry, 11th, F. Freudian slip there. The 4th is the same as the 11th. So the F, so you see a C 11th chord. That means you're going to have an F in it because it's the same as that. So remember, rule of thumb, the 9th is the same as the 2nd. So D, D. The 11th is the same as the 4th. And all I'm doing is counting the scales, the numbers, in 2 octaves. So I'm up to 11th. 12th would be this. That would be G. And then 13th. What's that? That is an A. We played that already. That's the 6th. So, oops, I think I got the wrong note here. That's an E. That's an A. So to recap, the 9th is the same as the 2nd. So in the key of C, that's the 2nd note is D. The 11th is the same as the 4th. That's the F. 1, 2, 3, 4, F. And the 13th is the same as the 6th, which is an A. Okay? That's all you got to remember. Count it, and then you'll get it right. So let's look at that chord I was playing. Okay, you got this right here. That is a what again? That is a 13th, which is the A and the 6th. So that's a C 13th. You got the root, you got the 3rd, and you got right here the 9th. I'm sorry, the 9th here. The D. So if you want to flat the 9th, then you see a chord that says 13th flatted 9th. So you got the 13th, the 9th here, you flat it, put it one back. That's it. Looks like this. And if you wanted to put the root, so that's a C 13th with a flatted 9th. Okay, long-winded way of doing that. You can do that with every chord. Essentially, just think about it. That's why people who are good at math sometimes technically are fairly pretty good with like music theory or understanding it. But it seems complicated at first. It's just like learning to read music. Once you get it down and you practice it, it'll make it a lot easier. You know what people are talking about when they say, oh, the ninth, oh, the 13th, the 4th, the 11th. All of those things should not be a mystery. They should not hold you back. 11th, 13th, 9th. When you see those things, do not be intimidated. When they tell you to flat them, just move them down one. When they say sharp them, move them up one. That's it. Let's not mystify. And last thing, long video. I started it with very softly playing and playing arpeggios, because even though I talked about theory in this thing, the most important thing when you get a grip, as they used to call it in the olden days, you have to kind of hear the notes. I always try to hear and understand the chord itself, because if it doesn't sound good musically, who cares if you know the theory behind it? You don't want to be a technician, you want to be a musician. All right then, have a great day and practice, practice, practice.